I'm a husband, I'm a father, I'm a man. Do you understand? Half of my life is unplanned. Most of the time.
Hello, and welcome to this episode of Husband, Father, Man. I'm glad that you could join me today. It is a beautiful day. It's wonderful. It's sunny outside. We got a breeze going. And so it's just awesome. If you get a chance, go out there and enjoy it. And so I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Always a blessing to spend this time with you. And hopefully you come looking for some things. As I always say, I hope you come hungry so you can leave full. Come looking for something, we have things going on here weekly, so you can just tune in like one of your favorite TV shows and get some things that'll help get you through the week and help take you to the next level. For those of my first-time listeners, we are glad to have you here. And if you are looking for a space where we're bringing forth things that will help better your marriage, help better you as a parent, and help better you as an individual, you are in the right place. And so today, we are focusing on parenting. So today is Fatherhood Friday. Fatherhood Friday is where we talk about things dealing with parenting and things that can help us get from point A to point B. And so today we're going to be discussing a topic that's near and dear to my heart because I see so many things being done differently. And it's not going to help our kids get to the promised land, that's for sure. And so today we're going to be discussing why it is important to give your kids consequences. Why it is important to give your kids consequences. So I always think back to our generation when we were younger. Some things that we knew, some things that were present, to where when we see things going on in this generation, we're kind of like, yeah, we knew that and we didn't go through that, or that wouldn't have been accepted and things like that. We understood it. And so we're dealing with this generation. Things are totally different, especially culture wise, because back when we were younger, we knew consequences were built into our home lives. It was built into our home lives. It was built into things going on in school. It was built into our after school sports and things like that. When we were younger, if we weren't doing our homework, our coaches would be checking in. And if we weren't getting good grades or we were misbehaving at school or at home, then we didn't get to play. We didn't get to play. You got sat on the bench. It doesn't matter if you're the star player or not. You got sat on the bench. You had extra things to do in practice to let you know there are consequences for your behavior. And that was just built into everything when we were at school. If we did things we were not supposed to be doing, there were consequences for our actions. And even at home, we all knew that one. You do something at home. Now, I hear a lot of kids get punishments and things like that now. But back in our day, everybody knows, what did we get? We got a whooping. Yep. Yes, we did. We got a good old fashioned whooping. Our parents broke out that belt, switch, shoe, whatever they could find, and they tore our tail up. So we had consequences for our actions. And so today, I want to point out why it's so important that our children have consequences. Because nowadays, the kids don't seem to have consequences. Nowadays, they do things and they may get a small talking to or something like that. But it's never, hey, because you did this, that has been taken away. You're going to get a whooping. You're going to get a punishment. None of that. It seems that it's just like, hey, cut that out and stuff like that. And they still get to play the games. They still get to watch TV. They still get to go outside. They still get the new shoes that they really wanted and all of this. And it's like, if they don't have any consequences, they're not going to see a need to change. So that's one reason that is important that that they receive consequences, because they'll know that that what they're doing and how they're behaving, it's not okay. It's not right, and it's not okay. And usually, you let them know, hey, this is why this behavior is not okay, or this is why you won't be playing the game, and whatever comes along with that. You explain it and you give them their consequences, and then they can decide next time if they're going to do that, to say to themselves, hey, you know what? I remember last time I got out of line, I got a whooping. I remember last time I got out of line, I couldn't play games for a week or two. And you just say to yourself, hey, I don't want to suffer those consequences, so I'm not going to do the wrong thing. I'm going to listen, and I'm going to stay on track. And so, but when they have those consequences, they know that, hey, this is not okay what I'm doing. It's not okay for me to act this way or do these things or say these things or whatever it may be. It's not okay. And so that helps keep them grounded. That helps keep them focused on being shaped and molded into someone who respects others, respects themselves, respect their parents and siblings and things like that. Someone who knows right from wrong, someone who has empathy and sympathy and compassion and things like that, to be able to know, hey, it's not right when someone does that to me. And so, hey, I shouldn't be doing that to anyone either. So they know this, they see this, and they understand this. And that's very important, because it directs their behavior in the right direction when they have those consequences, because they know they are receiving consequences because they were doing something that was out of order. And so another thing that comes along with this, why it's important to give our children consequences, is because if we don't, as they go along, as they grow up, they will think that it's okay to do what they're doing, because they never got consequences. And so they'll be sitting up like, oh, well, my parents never said anything. My teachers never said anything. My coaches never said anything. So it's okay if I do something wrong in class and get an attitude. It's okay if I don't have good work ethic and never finish any jobs. It's okay to be late. It's okay to be me and say that everyone has to accept me. But as soon as they launch out into life on their own, when they hit 16, 17, 18, where they launch out and start having jobs and start driving and all of these different things, to where they are out here thinking and seeing how they're going to handle things. And when they get on someone's job and they keep coming in late, and they have the attitude of, what's the big deal? I was only 15 minutes late. It's not like a lot of work was going on and all of this. Or what's the big deal that I didn't finish doing my job or whatever? I did what I could, so that should be good enough. Or what's the big deal that in the middle of my shift I was talking on the phone because I had something important that I had to take care of. And so what's the big deal? You the one who, telling their boss that their boss is the one who was out of line and out of order for saying something. They telling their friend, yeah, man, I was at work today and the boss gonna get an attitude because I didn't finish my work and everything. It's like, that's too much work for me to be doing anyway. I ain't getting paid the big bucks, and, just all these different attitudes. And what's going to happen? They're going to get fired. They're going to get fired, and they're not going to understand it. And, they're not going to be able to hold a job. They're not going to be able to do well within relationships or anything like that, because their mindset is that there's nothing wrong with what they're doing. And so it's setting them up for failure. And also, when you have this child that goes into adulthood with this misconception of no consequences, what's going to happen when they keep getting fired from their job, or they keep having these messed up relationships to where they were maybe living with somebody or maybe even married, and it's like, they don't understand how this is supposed to go. You're going to get that knock on the door. It's going to be like, who is it? It's going to be your child coming back home. They're going to be coming back home to live with mommy and daddy because they don't know how to be an adult. They don't know how to take responsibility for their actions and know that there are consequences for what they do or don't do. Or the other side to it is they're never going to leave home because they keep getting fired. So they're not going to be able to provide for themselves. And if they were raised not knowing that there are consequences for their actions, then they're going to be thinking it's okay. Oh, my boss got on my nerves. I quit. My boss kept fussing because I was late. I quit. My boss kept getting mad because I wasn't doing all my work and I was on my phone. So I quit. I don't have to take that. Well, if you let them keep getting off without consequences, yeah, that's what they're going to think. That's what they're going to believe. So it's very important to make sure that we are giving our children consequences right now so they'll have that balance, so they will know that you can't just do things out of order. You can't just do what you want to do. It's not all about you. There are rules that you have to follow just like everybody else. There are things that you need to do and things you need to be responsible for. And so within that, if they are taught that as they're growing up, then they will have that healthy balance when they go out into the world. When they get on a job, they will know that, hey, I'm hired to do a certain thing. I'm hired to be here at a certain time. And if I don't show up on time, the consequences are I can be suspended. I can be fired. If I'm going in and I'm not doing my job completely, completing the tasks that I'm supposed to complete, I can get suspended or get fired. And if I get suspended or get fired, my consequences can go even further. Now I won't have money to pay my car note. Now I won't have money to pay my rent. Now I won't have money to just take care of myself and buy food and live. And so they'll make, better decisions because they understand that they have things that they can lose if they're just making the wrong decisions and not thinking about the consequences of their actions. So that's just a little food for thought. So if, I know we're trying to be loving parents and everything, but we have to hold them accountable for their actions. So whatever they're doing that they shouldn't be doing, they have to have consequences to know that this is not okay and this is not the way. And if we aren't teaching them that, then they'll think that it's okay to do it. And once they get out in the real world is not going to be nice. The real world is going to be very cruel to them, and it's going to be a shock to the system. And it's our jobs as parents to prepare them as best we can for going out into the world, to be able to understand how it works and where they fit into things properly. So that's all I have for today on Husband, Father, Man. I hope you gather something out of this that was helpful and that will help you within your parenting. So I will see you on the next episode. Do not forget to comment, like, and subscribe and share, because these are always good videos to provide helpful thought and help motivate others as well. So I will see you on the next episode of Husband, Father, Man. So you have yourselves a great day, and see you next time.
I don't know what's
Later.
next until I get a phone call or maybe a text saying, could you pick the kids up from soccer? Grab